Welcome to the PMO Learning Series. Running a project management organization is challenging and rewarding. The career can be incredibly valuable to those that learn and develop their skills and resources. At the PMO Global Institute, it is our mission and goal to provide the best resources you'll need to develop these skills as you and your organization rise to the top. This PMO Learning Series was created for you to meet and get to learn from the best PMO professionals from around the world. This series will ask tough questions, reveal some fun answers, and you'll be able to take away actionable lessons from each episode. Today's topic is discovering executive sponsorship in PMO. And without further delay, let's jump in and meet today's guest. Dr. Jimmy J. Goddard is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and one of the best at organizational IT changes. For more than 22 years, he has led global changes with diverse teams, helped nonprofit organizations, and coached IT leaders to lead with passion and purpose and reach their full potential. Implementing global technology changes that impact people, processes, and technology is a passion. Dr. Goddard holds a Doctor of Management in Organizational Leadership, specializing in information systems and technology, with a master's degree in information systems and an MBA. He is also a certified goal success coach and instigator of process improvement and innovation with an unwavering determination to bring about results. Today, Dr. Goddard is a sought-after international keynote speaker, strategist, trainer, and goal success coach, and available to boards looking for leadership, project, program, and change management coaching, and consulting. Welcome, Dr. Goddard.
Hello, thank you, Grant. I really thank you for the invitation to the podcast this morning.
You're welcome. Glad to have you here, and let's just jump right into it. So, Dr. Goddard, you have a number of years of experience in the space of PMO and project management. What were the challenges you faced from your executive sponsors?
Wow, Grant, throughout my career, I've had the good fortune of being involved, I would say, in various projects spanning to corporations, nonprofit, infrastructure, software deployment, resource allocation, and a lot. I've also had the opportunity to be part of oversight committees for various city projects, universities, and the experience of contributing to numerous PMOs with diverse management styles. Typically, the challenges I've encountered are relatively common. The most formidable ones usually involve aligning the technology strategy and governance with the overarching business objective of the organization. This becomes even more complex when dealing with various C-suite executives, each with unique viewpoints. While everyone may strive for a shared vision for the organization, achieving alignment between all of those executives who have their priorities in place is really often complicated and challenging. A specific example that I can share with the audience, among others that I could share to fill a book, was from a nonprofit organization. The sponsor was very great, very savvy in this instance, very competent in all areas except technology. Understanding the intricacies and importance of a significant infrastructure transformation took a lot of work for the sponsor, which posed a challenge in securing the support of the board. So moreover, inspiring and engaging the team to deliver the programs, the projects, proven even more difficult.
Understood. So how much executive sponsorship is needed to make a successful PMO?
Wow, that's an intriguing question. Can a PMO truly thrive without a comprehensive executive sponsorship? This largely depends on several elements, Grant. We're talking about the organization size, the complexity of the portfolio of programs, and also the expectations of senior management from the PMO.
Mhm.
I would say this: acquiring the authority and influence to facilitate substantial change can only be virtually possible with solid executive sponsorship. Executive sponsors play a pivotal role, standing at the helm and advocating for the PMO's mission. As a matter of fact, they put it together, right? So they should ensure adequate funding, the human resources, attention, and allocated for the task at hand. Now, lately, I've been examining a hypothesis really. Is there a significant correlation between project failures and the performance of PMOs?
Hmm.
Because based on my evaluation, I will tell you this: executive sponsorship is so essential. It's like the force of the PMO. So when we have project managers who may not delivering projects on time, it's oftentimes the root cause is not on the front line. The root cause also can be on the support team for those project managers. So the degree of such sponsorship might differ, but executive sponsors, active participation grant, and their presence can be the difference between success and failure for any PMO.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. Wow. I'm sure these people get overstressed and all that kind of stuff. So that's really an intriguing answer. Thank you for that. So, what qualities should an executive sponsor possess to effectively support a PMO?
The first one, I would probably say everybody will say that's probably obvious. An executive sponsor should be a good leader, giving the inherent leadership role, right? Still, they should possess what I call a vision that can inspire their peers, that can inspire the stakeholders of the PMO, and also that can inspire the overall organization. After all, what is the point of having a PMO if its role cannot be pretty much adequately known in terms of where is the PMO going, what the purpose of the PMO, and why we have the PMO to begin with. So the executive sponsor should be able to answer critical questions about the PMO's purpose, vision, impact, and effectively communicate this vision to rally support. Now, such a leader must also have a strategic mindset, capable of effectively steering the whole company, steering change, influencing others, and demonstrating how the PMO's efforts align with the broader business strategy and the future trends. And another thing I would outline to this one, the one of the quality that many PMO leaders fail to understand or fail to realize that there is a difference between an authority and having power.
Hmm.
And that is very crucial. Being a PMO sponsor in the C-suite room, you may have the authority. However, having the power to influence others, having the power to let everybody know why the PMO is here is really essential, because our evolving technology landscape, it's pretty much bombarded with new technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, generative AI, and large language models, where businesses now, they can go ahead and do things on their own, really with limited IT support. So the focus should be on integrating the latest tools and identifying the right ones to address present and future challenges for the organization at large. And that's what the PMO can come in to help a business leader. Other very quick qualities I would say the executive sponsor should have: must be a strategic thinker. It must also have, I would say, decision-making skills, because it's very frustrating when the PMO team is facing issues, programs are running behind, and such sponsors have to say, let me run this through. If you have to run this through things to channel, that is the lack of power, right? Power is exercised through commitment. Power is exercised when things need to get done, you get things done. And lastly, this probably be a spoiler, being in a leadership position and as a sponsor inherently means dealing with conflict of ideas, conflict of resources, conflict of personalities. So sponsors must possess problem-solving skills to address this conflict. Think creatively and devise effective and feasible solutions. By the way, sponsors, you cannot whine about how tough things are because if you start whining, well, you're telling us you're not a fit.
Fascinating. Yeah, don't whine, no whining. So no whining zone, for goodness sakes. So what mechanisms can an executive sponsor establish to help measure and track the performance of the PMO?
Wow, this is a straightforward question. It's really easy, but not simple. Because measuring and tracking a PMO's performance is primarily based on the value it brings to the business objective. And one key word I will be repeating a lot is, and this is my mantra, and I'm pushing this, is value. What is the value? Why we are doing this? This implies the business has a set of objectives. There is a defined technology roadmap, and the PMO is delivering toward meeting this target. Many may wonder how to quantify this value I'm talking about. Now, we have some basic standard baseline PMO performance metrics that should be tailored to provide specific data that illustrate how the activities of the PMO contribute to the business value and demonstrate areas of improvement and opportunities to add even more value. What are some of the key performance indicators? They must be measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound metrics, right? So we can have a program and we don't have some time around it. Those are tools that we frequently use, whether it is portfolio, program, and project reviews. Okay. And typically, project managers are part of this element to really kind of bring this to the fruition. One of the major important tools I will highlight is what I'll call stakeholder feedback, because you are dealing you're not on the exile island. You are dealing in an ecosystem. You need to get feedback from others, engaging your stakeholders early, having dialogues to understand their needs, their concerns, their role in the decision-making process, and providing regular updates on those projects are very critical, Grant, very critical, because this will result in a sense of ownership and commitment towards the PMO's initiatives.
Cool. Yeah, and you want that overall, the whole corporation or organization, right? So what strategies can an executive sponsor employ to ensure buy-in from senior management and stakeholders for the PMO initiatives?
My strategy is the number key word I just mentioned earlier, value. Value is a principle deeply entrenched in everything that we do. We talk about economic values, we talk about personal values, we talk about moral values, cultural value. PMO sponsors can adopt a tri-part approach to secure buy-in from their peers, revolving around demonstrating value, effective communication, and strong leadership. And if I were to talk about the value proposition, that will be the first question. You want to bring a new PMO to your organization? What's the value proposition? That should be the first key question. Sponsors must effectively articulate the advantages of standing up a PMO. They need to communicate clear expectations for the PMO regarding roles, responsibilities, and engaging key stakeholders throughout the PMO implementation process. Also, consistent updates will foster trust and confidence. And you will, in addition to that, you have KPI metrics aligning with business objectives that provide tangible and quantifiable evidence for success. And I think as a resource for the PMO team as well, the executive sponsor should not be somebody that says go. It should be somebody that says let's go. It should be accessible to provide guidance, support, advice to the PMO team. And this could be through individual meetings, regular check-in, or casual conversation, but you must be a champion. You must be a champion for your team, and also serve as a sounding board. Now, what I like to do is what I call the top-down common leadership, where I provide the guidance for the team and let them know this is where we're going. This is the vision. Second, Grant, I take it to the next level, where I perform what I call a servant leadership. I have everybody, right? I go around everybody. What do you need, Grant? What do you need, Joseph? What do you need, Patrick, to really get things moving? And once that's done, guess what? I take it to the next level, transformative leadership. Now, guys, you know where we're going. You tell me what you needed, I provided it to you. Now we need to work as a team and let's get this thing going. Because by doing that, you become more of a sounding board. The PMO sponsor don't have to be in the middle of everything. You're only there when things get hot because that's your job.
Right.
Get in and put out the fire.
So being a good fireman is a good part of this job, right? So what role does executive sponsorship play in mitigating project risks and ensuring timely decision-making within a PMO?
Wow. The significance of executive sponsorship is undeniable. Particularly, we're talking about reducing risk.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that my career has taught me, the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed, I'm dealing with risk. Everything we do has risk. There's opportunity cost risk. There is unknown risk coming out from outside, whether it has to do within the environment that we're in, new, whether it has to be the competitors. For risk mitigation, you must have the authority and you must have the power. By virtue of your senior status within your organization, you must have the power to make crucial decisions swiftly in response to emerging risks. Sometimes you need to take the time and cool down, make sure things are normal, make sure you have all the data. But when it comes to risk, some risk you have to accept them and execute right there. And be a forward thinker, because a forward thinker that will help you deal with what we call risk mitigation. If you do if you plan if you plan adequately, if you have a vision for the future, you will identify some of those risks ahead of time and come up with plans. Now, check this out. If something else comes in that you did not plan for it, now you have the team already there available to address them. Because when the risks that you have identified show up, they don't need you. Why? Because we already have a plan for it. But if we don't have plan for anything, every single risk that comes up, then you will need to get involved. So risk identification and evaluation is really crucial, very crucial for the executive sponsor to be successful. Now, the decision-making component, I will say this, make sure you have a clear decision-making authority. There are some elements as a PMO sponsor, they don't need to go to you, right? Making sure you empower your team to have the authority to make decisions and also have explicit decision-making criteria. So for certain level of issues, you go to so-and-so, you go to the project manager, to the program manager, to the portfolio manager, then you go to the sponsor. You cannot be in the middle of everything. Last, I would say problem resolution. Executive sponsor can swiftly address issues that emerge during portfolio issues, during organization issues, and their authority can expedite the decision-making process that might otherwise get entangled in bureaucratic stuff. And then guess what? You get to enjoy wonderful Mondays. And Mondays is no longer something that you have to worry about.
No more dreading, right? Oh my goodness. So what's the best way for an executive sponsor to react and offer assistance in a sudden, unforeseen circumstance?
This fall under what I would categorize, Grant, as crisis management. Because yes, sudden unforeseen circumstances, I will tell you, they are the reason we have executive sponsors. Because if everything's going as such, we don't need you here, right? You can go to Hawaii, enjoy the beach with your laptop.
I'll take that
Because
one.
the majority of executive sponsors should prepare mentally to handle crisis consistently. And crisis usually comes from conflict. And I'll tell you, let me be blunt about it. That's what they're paying you. It's conflict management. It's for those crises. It's those firefighting or anything that you want to call it. So maintain your composure, right? Let's use Monday morning. Monday morning, you arrive to the office and the team is going, left and right. Maintain your composure and gather facts. Because in the face of sudden, unexpected situation, it is crucial for the sponsor to stay poised and composed right? Because this approach instills a sense of calm and trust among the stakeholders. Because if you're running left and right, gee, we have no confidence, right? The ship is sinking. And how much do we know? Gather as much data about the situation, not how much we think. No, that's not the thinking. Here we need data that offers support and resources. The team may be overwhelmed by the situation. Reach out to your peers, and this is where influence comes in. Reach out to your peers, get additional resources, identify what needs immediate attention and what can be dealt later. It is fundamental to prioritize issues based on their impact on the organization and communicate effectively. Communication, communication, communication. Transparency and communication is of utmost importance during a crisis. Because, Grant, what I have learned is if you do not communicate what the story is, people will make up stories.
You'll
And
get
once
a
they make
story,
up
right?
those stories, oh my goodness, it's kind of spread wildfire. You cannot put it out. So keep your stakeholders up to date about the situation and the measures being taken to address it. And this approach will help manage expectations and preserve trust.
Thank you so much, Dr. Goddard, for the amazing interview and all of your really introspective answers. But you're not off the hook quite yet. Now, I'm going to bring in and introduce our CEO, Abdullah Al-Mamoun, for our rapid fire chat segment. Now, Abdullah is also the founder and CEO of PMO Global Institute, which is the certification body for CBPMO certification. He's on a mission to make PMO education available in 200 countries. Abdullah, the rapid fire chat round is all yours.
Grant, nice to meet you, Jimmy. Happy to have you on the
Nice
show.
to meet you.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, guys, I'm here not just for chit chat. I'm here for some, some tough questions for you, right? So, yeah, I'm going to ask you a few questions just to know more about, the person Jimmy, and also would like to know a bit more about the PMO Jimmy, right? So, so should I start? Are you ready, Jimmy?
I'm ready. Bring it on, Abdullah. Bring it on.
Good one, good one. So let's start with the first one. Yeah. So my first question is, what was your last Google search? What do you think?
Oh, what was the last Google search that I've done?
And why you have done it?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes, the last Google.
first.
Yes, look, you're delaying a little bit. So if I hear you correctly, you said what was the last Google search that I've done, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. The last Google search that I've done, oh my goodness. I do so many. Let's see. Recently, I am working on identifying robotic process automation tools for PMOs. And the last Google, I'm pretty sure I've done so many of the Google search before, after that. But what I've been trying to focus is when we think about robotic process automation and its association and dependencies with artificial intelligence, generative AI, and also we're talking about machine learning, how are those tools can help PMOs be more effective and less dependent on the manual work, so that can help the PMO staff to support project managers better in terms of guidance, mentoring, coaching, and also support with, I would say, some type of how do you execute value from the PMO to meet business objectives. So that has been mostly what my primary searches on LinkedIn recently.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, so here the game is, Jimmy, you have to answer me very shortly within a sentence, right? So my next question is, that was interesting. Are you sure that you really searched on PMO, before that was your last search? Very interesting. That means top to bottom, you're a PMO guy. All right. So my next question is, we know that you have many different talents. Tell us one hidden talents that you have.
One hidden talent that I have. Wow. I'm a very transparent person. I would say one hidden talent that I have is wow. You've got me here. I will tell you this. Oftentimes, I don't know how much I know. What about this? And for me, what matters most to me is people. And I think one hidden talent I have, and many people may not appreciate it, is how I value the people that I work with. And hopefully, it's not hidden, but oftentimes I'm not sure I do a good job demonstrating it to people.
Yeah, very, very, very democratic. I need more specific answer, Jimmy. All right, so let it take it forward. Yeah, tell me one interesting thing. What makes you cry?
What makes me cry? I will tell you, I cried yesterday.
Seriously?
I get emotional. I get emotional yesterday, and yeah, some people say I'm a crier. And I recently found that I was selected as the rising star of as a professor in um, American College Healthcare Sciences. And the dean and the president of the university brought to my attention the staff and many students voted for me to be the rising star of the establishment. So that was very emotional, and yeah, I could not hold some of the tears. And I
Oh,
got home, and that I got so humble. I was so humble sharing that with my wife, and yes, I cried yesterday. There you have it.
oh, that's interesting, right? And congratulations. That's a big thing. Congratulations. Really, really, proud
Thank
of.
you.
Really appreciate. Now get into more serious stuff in PMO, right? Good. Uh, you know, I am sure that you have managed many PMOs, and over the time projects and handled PMO staffs and all. As a PMO, what was the biggest challenge you have ever faced as a PMO?
As a PMO, depending on the sector, some will be regulatory, will be very challenging, and some will be executive sponsorship, no understanding the what a PMO is about, because some do not understand what the PMO is. They see it more as a group of people trying to manage projects. That will be there as well. And oftentimes, the one of the greatest challenges I have seen about PMO tend to be also in the government sector in terms of selling to the rest of the organization the value of the PMO, and
Okay.
that the PMO is not an IT entity, but it's an entity to manage several components from business to technology, and also to the consumer.
Fantastic, fantastic. Very good, very good. Tell me one of your, one of your incident as when you are working as a PMO. One of the incident that we none of us actually know. Maybe your colleague during time didn't know. One of the incident. Please share one of the unique incident you ever had during your PMO career.
Uh, let's see. Now I cannot really think of one, being honest with you. And the reason for that is everything that happens to me, I'm an optimist myself. Everything that happened for a reason. And
Hmm.
when I'm working in a team format, if something would happen to me, I mean outside of my personal life, of course, I often bring it straight to the team and try to figure out, okay, what is the lesson that we can learn from this? I've had great sponsors, and I've had also sponsors who are pretty much did not fully understand the role. And I put it on my responsibility to educate. So usually when something, I never said negative things happen to me. I usually categorize those things as things happen that I was not anticipating, regardless of what I would say the severity of it may be. And then the next thing for me is what is it I can learn from that experience? And as you now that you know, it comes straight from my high school experience, right? is there's always something you do not know about somebody. There is always something you do not know about the situation. So when you find yourself in an environment, in a situation that may be negative to you, the first thing I do is really stop and think and figure out, okay, what is it I do not know? Because if I know that, maybe it will change my thought process. And I will tell you this: I practice something we call TEA. It means thoughts, emotions, actions. So the first thing that happens to me, I stop this thought to figure out, okay, that's a negative thought. I need to I need to master that thought and then transform into a positive thought because that impacts my emotion.
Yeah.
And your emotion, people can feel what you're going through, even though you're not talking. So if I'm harboring negative thoughts, I will have negative emotions, and guess what will happen? My actions will be negative as well. So thoughts, emotions, actions. So in the workplace, no matter what happens, is stop. What is it I do not know about this situation? I will talk later about it, capture some positive thoughts,
Mm,
create some positive emotions, and then move forward.
I like that. Stop. What did you say? Stop. Then
Thoughts, emotions,
motion and action.
action.
Brilliant one.
Yeah, tea.
I like that.
Each time you're drinking tea,
Yeah.
thoughts,
Yep.
emotions, action.
Action. I love that. I love that you win this round, Dr. Jimmy, with this nice, statement. Start, emotions, and action. I love that. Yeah. I'm almost done. My time is out, but I'd like to ask you maybe one last question, maybe two last questions. One is, if you are, born again as a PMO, I wish I am not going to be born again as a PMO because it's not an easy life, right? We are handling all these, strategic initiatives. If just consider, if you're born to again as a PMO, how you would do at least two things differently.
Oh boy. So
Just
wow.
two.
So if I were to born again, come back to the top with the same knowledge that I have, right? Because if I'm born again, I don't know anything, then I don't know what I don't know. But if I were to start, let's put it this way: if I were to go to Mars with the knowledge that I have and see me brand new, what would I do differently? Uh, I would say, of course, sector depends a lot because I'm involved in so many different sectors that really matter. But I would generally manage any PMO to the belief that people matter. I say that, and someone may say this is basic, Jimmy. Yet it is, but yet many leaders see the resources as a means to get things done. And my personal strong philosophy, I'm saying people get things done. People are not a means to get things done.
Yeah.
People get things done.
Yeah.
So my personal philosophy is I don't manage people, I lead people. So if I were to come back into in another life to get PMO done, I would not even have to do two things. I will only have to do one thing. Tell people you matter. You matter because without you, nothing can be done. People matter. That would be what I would do different.
I love that. I love that. Just to close my rapid fire session with an interesting question. Uh, if your pet can talk, what they would talk about you?
I have two pets. My favorite pet is a goldfish. It's been around for 6 years. It's a tiny goldfish. My goldfish will tell you I am probably the only one. My goldfish will tell you that it matters. If you talk to my cat, if you talk to my cat will tell you I've tried to get restraining orders from my cat. So I would not look good in front of my cat, but I would look awesome in front of my goldfish. So if my goldfish would talk, says I matter. Jimmy thinks I matter because he sees me, he changes the water. But my cat, that cat loves me, but it's a one-way street. I love the cat. It's an investment, but I don't need to hang out with the cat all the time. The cat wants to hang out with me all the time. I kid you not. I open the door, the cat is there. I get into my office, The cat is there. I'm going to my room. The cat is there.
Oh.
The cat is everywhere I am. So
Because I'm sure that he also added that, they love you so much. They love Dr.
exactly.
Right? So yeah, fantastic. So that's all for my side.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. It was an interesting session, and thank you for assisting with our PMO learning series. Today's topic was discovering executive sponsorship in PMO with Dr. Jimmy Goddard, a PMO specialist. Thanks again, gentlemen. Let's talk PMO careers. According to a survey, the average PMO in the United States can earn about $116,000 US per year. And according to another study, it's found that 89% of enterprises have at least one PMO and 50% have more than one PMO. But how many qualified PMO professionals do we have? To grow a career as a PMO, become a certified baseline PMO consultant from PMO Global Institute and be prepared to bring change into the PMO world. The PMO Global Institute is pleased that you chose to watch today's episode. We'd love to have your thoughts about it. In the description below, you'll find a link to our very simple survey. Please take a moment to click the link, answer a few quick questions, and we'll enter you in a drawing for an $89 value gift voucher, good for a PMO Global paid membership and PMO guidebook. We'll pick 3 winners at random from this episode. Good luck, and thanks for watching. Thank you for taking time from your busy day to watch and learn from this episode of the PMO Learning Series. The mission of the PMO Global Institute is to make PMO learning available to project professionals across the globe through certifications, events, networking, hands-on knowledge sharing, and interviews like this one. And did you know you can join for free? Learn more today at pmoglobalinstitute.org. Thanks again, and stay tuned for more episodes.